The Egyptian mythos is full of many great gods and goddesses. Many of them, such as Ra, Anubis, and Seth, have been immortalized in both ancient and modern cultures. So much so, most people often overlook or entirely disregard the other gods of Egypt. One of these lesser known gods, at first glance, doesn't seem to matter much compared to the other gods this deity shares space with. However, this lesser known deity was the Lord of Kakarat, Ra after dark, the sculptor of men, the guardian of the Nile, or to most, he was Khnum, god of the Nile, fertility, and protection. He is by far the most underrated god of Egypt, for without Khnum, no life could exist in the universe. No mortals or even the gods themselves would have purpose or life to call their own. As the god of the Nile, fertility and protection, Khnum was revered as one of the most powerful and important gods in the time before the Old Kingdom. He was often depicted with the body of a man with a ram's head, since rams were one of the most fertile animals in Egypt. According to Egyptian beliefs, Khnum was one of the first cosmic gods, the Egyptians' first pantheon of deities. He was believed to be the protector of the Nile River, and it would be his job to flood the river each year, bringing in the fertile soil and water needed to grow crops. When the river flooded, the sediment would turn black with rich soil, and it was this mixture of sand and soil the Egyptians believed all humans and even the gods were made from, and that it was Khnum's job to sculpt the men from clay. This is where the fertility aspect of Khnum comes into play. It was his role of molding the infant and its ka within the womb, giving it the breath of life, and giving the newborn a soul, or ka. Khnum would bless the newborn in life with the talent or skill to be used. For example, he may give a young man great strength to serve in the pharaoh's army, and to another man who was not of great strength, he could bless them with artistic potential, destining them to become potters or painters for a pharaoh's tomb. Another amazing feat Khnum was often overlooked for was that it was this ram-headed protector's job to guide and protect the chief deity, Ra, as he sailed across the night sky in a barge carrying the sun, and every night, Khnum and Ra would battle against a serpent called Apep, who tried to devour the sun itself. This deity definitely did not have an easy night job. Eventually, Khnum would marry the goddess of the Nile Delta, Setet, and together they had two children, Anuket and Hika. After his children came of age, the job of replenishing and flooding the Nile fell to Khnum's daughter, Anuket, and his son, Hika, would assist his father in molding and giving men their cause. But even after giving his children a significant portion of his responsibilities, Khnum was still a key figure in both the world of the men and gods, and you would think that having such a high responsibility and honor, he would have been revered as a great being until the end of the Egyptian Empire. But sadly, during the Middle Kingdom, many people had tossed aside this deity in favor of the more intimidating-looking Sebek, who took over Khnum's role as the god of the Nile and fertility. But even after he was phased out, Khnum continued to live on in the Egyptian beliefs, and he is still inadvertently remembered to this day. The most commonly known way Khnum is remembered is through the pharaoh named Khufu, whose name literally means protected by Khnum. And it was under the guarding eyes of this ram god that Khufu became the credited creator of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest and only remaining ancient wonder of the world. Likewise, temples and cults were dedicated to this multi-talented ram man. The largest was located on the island of Elephante in Upper Egypt, where he and his family of river-loving, clay-sculpting deities resided in the hearts of men. In the end of it all the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt have left a huge impact on both our lives and the lives of the Egyptians who believed in them. Some of them just had better imprints than the others. Khnum was one of these unlucky few who didn't leave such an impact. It's so upsetting when you realize how much this ram contributed to the ancient Egyptians. I mean, he defended Ra and the sun itself every night from being devoured by a mighty serpent. If that doesn't earn you respect for eternity, I don't know what will. Still, Khnum may have been immortalized through devotion and even a pharaoh's name. Yet his responsibilities and purpose are like the ancient pharaohs of old, lost to the sands of Egypt, just waiting to be remembered again.